right, so on the program this morning, we're looking at Lagos water channels, understanding the role of the right-of-way and setbacks in flood prevention. We're doing that because even though we know it's not supposed to be the rainy season, but the rains are pouring and there are lots of warnings from the Nigerian Meteorological Agency as it relates to flooding across several states. Lagos is not exempted, and that is why APPSN is concentrating on providing the right information that will help us manage all of this. So let me bring my guest to the microphone. Surveyor Adams Olugbenga Benjamin, member Nigerian Institution of Surveyors. He is also the Association of Private Practicing Surveyors of Nigeria National Publicity Secretary and also the Vice Chairman of APPSN Lagos State Branch. Surveyor Benga Adams, it's nice to have you back in the studios. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Victor. Good morning, Lagos.
It's been quite a while, though.
Well, we need to give other people the opportunity to come and make their own impact.
Yes.
And, nobody's an island.
That's right. So
yes.
It's pretty good. So you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Surveyor Atiku Lukman is member Nigerian Institution of Surveyors. He's making his debut entry on the program. It's nice to have you in the studio, Surveyor Lukman. Good morning.
Good morning, Lagos.
And how are you doing?
I'm very well.
All right.
Mr. Oteri, thank you very much for having me.
Wonderful. Yeah, it's your first time in our studios, right?
Yes.
Look to your left, you see the big cameras. What do you make of them?
Okay, yeah, this is very nice. I'm really happy to be here.
All right. So you're welcome.
Yeah.
Let's look at it and jump in on the program right away. So, Surveyor Adams, we're talking water channels, right? So, for those who might not understand, what are the water channels, or what is water channel to start with?
Okay, good morning, Lagos. And quickly, what do we mean by water channels? Water channels has to do with every part that water passes through, whether a drainage, a canal, a lagoon, creek, anywhere, any part that water passes through.
Oh, these are all water channels.
All these are water channels.
And
the moment water passes through it is a channel.
All right. So, Atiku, Lagos is blessed with lots of these water bodies, right?
Yes.
From what you see, we have a lot of them in abundance.
Exactly.
Right. And in terms of really having that consciousness of how it should be, how is it with Lagos? I mean, are we really treating those water channels the way they should be?
One way or the other, we have no option because naturally Lagos is on water. Because there are some part of Lagos on the island that they are even below the mean sea level. So when you carry out what we call to sample the height, you discover that you are getting minus. Wherever in some part of Nigeria, like in Ogun State, you'll be getting average of 100 plus. So Lagos is underwater. So we have no option because naturally Lagos is underwater. We need to treat the water channels so that for us to avoid any disaster that may be due to flooding, erosion, and waterway.
Right. So what's the connection here between surveying and those water channels that we're really talking about, Surveyor Lukman?
Yeah, surveyor plays major roles in combating and maintaining a good flow of water in Lagos State.
Okay.
Especially when we are talking about the mapping of our right-of-ways, roads, the rivers, the channels, and also
the water bodies, right?
Yeah, preparing a survey plan that shows the details, the topographical details of all the information that are near the water body.
So surveyors play a very crucial role here.
Yes, especially mapping drainage and hydrographic survey,
right?
Spot height and determine elevations of points around the water bodies.
All right, so Surveyor Adams, a lot of people might not be aware of this. All we see is just that we have drainage channels, we have primary, secondary, tertiary channels, all those ones. Most people do not know that surveyors had a role to play in that. We just felt they're just being constructed.
No, it's not that surveyor has a role to play. Surveyor has a major role to play.
It's not just a role.
No, just a role.
All right.
Surveyor has a major role to play.
So I needed to. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Because water moves from the upper part to lower parts. And what determines the elevation, the slope, the topography of every point on the surface? It is the duty of the surveyor, so that they'll be able to know, okay, this is the height of this place is on a low level, this is the height of the place is on a high level. So you need to construct your drainage in such a manner. It goes beyond you constructing drainage.
So
yes.
surveyors must be involved, right?
When water discharges into drainages, that water is going to a place, and it is the surveyor that will determine the direction of that, where the water is going to, so that the water you are discharging at a point will not be causing problem for other people at another point.
All right, I still need you to answer this question for me, Surveyor Adams. I need you to explain the concept of the right of way and setbacks in the context of Lagos water channels. Talk to me.
Okay, good. We need to differentiate between what we call the right of way and setback.
Okay.
The right of way, the way I can define it, is a legal right granted to a person to have access to someone else's property. Good. Let's take it from this angle. Okay. Right of way, assuming there is a water channel.
Right.
Because that water channel becomes a public utility, is nobody's property, is government liability and access, so to say. There must be a right of way from, let's say, a drainage, from the center of the drainage to the right to the left.
Okay.
The right of way is the amount of space acquired for a specific purpose. Now, the purpose of right of way is for us to have access, or when anybody want to have access. When there is a canal, canal starts and end, it has a width. But it goes beyond the extent of the width. It moves to the right, to the left, so that when they needed to maybe service the canal, they must be able to have access to the place.
All right.
So that is the right of way.
Let's get back to Surveyor Lukman. So, any major difference between the right of way and the setbacks?
The right of way is like the distance between the corridor or the reserved corridor along the channel.
Okay.
That is a place that we have to stay off to allow water to flow and to encourage whoever that is maintaining the channel or drainage to be able to maintain or dredge for future expansion. So setback is the distance of a building that must be kept from the edge of the channel.
Okay.
That is a safety buffer zones for erosion or for assets and for public protections. So it is very, very important we maintain the setback of every channel or drainage in Lagos State. So,
all right, so from what you see, those setbacks and the channels, are they properly aligned?
Normally you don't expect a channel to go on a straight line, but assuming it's on a straight line. So what we are trying to explain here is people should be able to differentiate between right of way and from a setback. If the right of way, assuming a canal is 15 meters wide, and the right of way of that canal is 30 meters, that means from the center of the canal, you take 50 meters to the right, 50 meters to the left, and the width of the canal itself is 50 meters. That means, let's say from the center is 7.57. That means on both sides you have 7.5 meters right of way.
Okay.
From the edge of that 7 meters right of way, you have to leave another 7 meters, which is the setback, which is the minimum distance required between a property line and existing water channel.
Right.
Depending on the nature of the channel.
So what I'm saying right now, most of the setbacks that you see, are they properly aligned?
They must be properly aligned. It's just that Lagos State is a place that is built up that it is hardly you can find 7 meters as setback from most of those channels. But as it is in the recent years, Lagos State was enforcing the minimum right of way and setback from all those channels.
So, Lukman, I'm just thinking, how can the right of way of this, and of course the setback regulations in Lagos, how can it help to mitigate flooding in the city?
Okay, the major way to keep the right of way free and flowing is to keep the storm water running. That will cause a less flooding in the environment or in the community wherever we have a channel, and it will also help us to provide a safe access for the city, especially when we want to have a dredging of a channel, and to prevent the erosion water bank,
okay,
and building from failing. You know, when we have buildings that are very close to the right of way,
all right,
and they are not properly aligned with the setback provided by the government, it can cause a kind of loss by probably having to demolish the building later, or probably the erosion of the water. You know, water, you cannot hold water.
That's right.
Water has to find a way. So if those facilities are not in place, there will be problem for the owner of the building and even the community.
And that can lead to flooding, right?
Exactly.
So Adams, let's look at it now. When you look at Lagos, which areas would you say, from your perspective and from your assessment, which areas would you say we have some of those setbacks, or perhaps the right of way for those water channels not properly regulated? Are there areas you can think of?
Mostly on the island, because whereby people tends to reclaim land.
Okay.
By doing some filling, and they want to get more space for them to do their construction. If you maybe in the last 3 months or 6 months, you discover that the Commissioner for Environment, Mr. Tokunbo Wahab, was seriously enforcing
the right of way,
whereby a lot of buildings are being demolished.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's only majorly on the island.
Lagos Island. You have lots of those kind of structures,
of course,
and all of that.
Of course.
Okay, let's talk about places like Ikorodu as well, because I know 2 weeks ago when the rain came pouring heavily, we had some flooded areas within those locations, and one of the things that people are talking about is perhaps the water that's supposed to, the runoff water that's supposed to collect into some of those channels are probably blocked, and that is leading to flooding. So what would you say about areas like Ikorodu, for instance?
Yes, areas like Ikorodu is like a place that is just developing in Lagos. Ikorodu is not fully developed. You cannot compare Ikorodu with places like Ikeja, Akeke, whereby you don't have vacant land. You still have a lot of vacant land in Ikorodu. The problem of the flooding that happened in Ikorodu cannot be only attached to the issue of right of way or setback alone. Okay. I think it has to do with the consistent fall of the rain during that period, one. Number two, where the water is discharging to. What are the things that is causing impediment? Was the canal, or was the storm water, or was the collecting channel, the system that is taking the water, was it adequately serviced? Were they dredged before that period?
Right.
And one. And number two, another point is people that the property was submerged. Did they even follow the required standard of building? What is the level? What is their own finished level in their own compound? So those are the things. It's not actually the issue of right of way.
Right. So when you get to a virgin land, for instance, some of those communities, like you said, they are emerging communities. By the time people get there, they just clear the lands. There are no drainages, right? No drainage channels or anything.
So, yeah, if there is no drainages, the point is, before you can carry out your construction, you need the service of a surveyor, not only to do a cadastral survey for you alone, but for that person to go to an existing road, to use it as a benchmark.
Okay.
Then pick the level of that existing road, transfer it to your own site to be able to know where is going to be your own finished level in your own compound.
Okay.
Before you can start your construction. Because, see, if you say today this studio is not developed, like we came into the compound and we are seeing renovations everywhere.
Right.
Yes, it is being renovated because something good was done in the past. They need to build on what was done. If you say that there is no drainage in where you are building today, and in years to come, drainage is come, and by the time they bring the level of the invert of the drainage to that place, and you now discover that your own compound is even below the invert level of the drainage, automatically, if there is a little rainfall, then your compound will be flooded because your water will not be able to discharge into drainage because your compound is even below the invert level of that drainage.
Let's talk about that, because I've seen some locations like that, even in areas like Ogudu and some other places. You now find out that even the height of the road, it appears much higher than the ingress into those compounds. So if you Lukman, haven't you discovered that too?
Yeah, I've seen such, and the question I ask myself is why would we have a kind of construction like this? Especially, I don't really expect we have
this kind of construction.
They're supposed to be. This is where Surveyor comes in. If the details are well picked, if the map is well done, the topographic survey is well done, the discharge level will be determined, and for the engineer to know what to do, they will make use of those informations without having such a problem or creating such a problem. Because if the discharge point is properly determined, the water that where they want to discharge will be properly, there won't be any problem with the height of the building lower than the road.
All right, then. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. This morning we are looking at Lagos water channels, understanding the role of the right-of-way and setbacks in flood prevention. And my guest this morning, Surveyor Adams Olugbenga Benjamin, who is a member of Nigerian Institution of Surveyors and also the APPSN National Publicity Secretary, Vice Chairman of the Lagos State branch as well. And I also have Surveyor Atiku Lukman, member Nigerian Institution of Surveyors. Getting back to the roads, we did tell you that most of those areas that we're covering still looking pretty cool. If you're coming into Lagos on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, it's a good drive this morning. Otedola connecting Secretariat 7 up all the way towards Alakbere is good, but of course approaching Alakbere things begin to slow down a bit. Return journey not bad at all. Ikorodu Road is also faring pretty well at this time, no major worries, and most of the areas where we've had breakdowns, they are being resolved at the moment. All right, then. So if you want to join the conversation, feel free to do so, and that's on 091-5387-7127. Okay, that's 091-5387-7127. All right, so Benjamin, I need you to talk to us a bit about the enforcement now of the right of way. You've told us about some of the issues that relates to this flooding and all of that. So those regulations that we have, and I'm looking at the challenges to even state it much better. So what are some of the challenges that people are facing, or perhaps government is facing, in enforcing the right of way and setback regulations in Lagos?
No, I would not say government is facing any challenges in enforcing the right of way in Lagos. Reason being that if government actually wants to work and want to enforce, the policies are there, the penalties are there, government will actually do it. But there needs to be synergy between all these agencies that give approvals for all these constructions. You'll be surprised, all these constructions are being built, are being demolished, they have approvals. It's just that you see somebody bringing a certain drawing to get approval, you will now have another set of drawing for construction, and those people that gives approval, it is their duty to monitor what is being done, so that whatever that is on ground that is approved, like I'm very sure there are some places in Lagos today, if you want to get approval, you want to do your title, you must get what we call drainage clearance. The Office of Drainage Services under the Ministry of Environment must give you drainage clearance, that these places that you are going to want to build, you want to get approval for, they will give you that you have the required setback from the existing water channel that is there. So if government actually want to do this enforcement, that shouldn't be a problem. But the problem is for us with our building in Lagos. Number one, get the right professionals to handle your job for you.
Okay.
It goes beyond you having a cadastral survey of your property. Carry out the topographical survey and let the topographical survey be tied to the mean sea level. What I mean by mean sea level, don't allow a surveyor to say he wants to carry out topographical survey. He's now using a point on your site as a temporary benchmark. That temporary benchmark refers to your site. It stops at your site. Okay. Let the person carry the control from a non-government control that has the XYZ. This I'm saying goes beyond the reasoning of our listening public.
Yeah, the understanding
but
of the
moment you tell your that, let it be tied to a government control that have the XYZ coordinate that will show the north, the east, and most of the height of that point. So you'll be able to determine what is the height of your compound as you relate to the mist level in anywhere in Lagos. All
right, then let's see if we can take some reactions that are coming in. 091-5387-7127. The benchmark is the program, and this morning we're looking at water channels and how we can understand the right of way and setbacks in flood prevention. Talk to me. All right, this one says, good morning. What is the difference between a right of way and a setback when it comes to water channels? Emmanuel is sending that one in. Emmanuel, even though they've distinguished that, but I'll still allow them to talk on it. Another one here says, good morning. If someone already built on a setback unknowingly, what options do they have? Shegun from Arepo. So, Lukman, you want to respond to that one?
Yes. Thank you. If someone has already built on a setback, it should get to the Lagos State Ministry of Environment for a training clearance. Okay. I'm very sure they will advise for that because he has already encroached on the right of way. It's an offense. It's an illegal building, illegal construction.
Okay.
It is against the law of Lagos State.
So he should go to the ministry.
He has to go to Ministry of.
Is that environment or physical planning?
No, environment.
Environment.
Yeah, they are the one that are in charge of right of way and setback, especially when it comes to channel and drainages.
All right.
Yeah. So as my colleague rightly said the other time, so by the time he gets there, you might probably ask for drainage clearance.
Okay.
If the case determined or really deserve to be treated that way, so they will give that.
They will give direction of what to do.
Exactly.
All right. Okay, then. So Shegun from Arekbo, I hope you got that. 08099120777 091-5387-7127. All right. Another one here says, Surveyor Adams, if someone buys land close to a canal, how can they easily know if it's safe to build there or not? If you're in, he's sending that one in. All right.
No, it's so simple. It's so simple. In a layman language, before you can buy the land, you must have gone ahead to go and inspect the land. And I will advise you go with a registered surveyor to help you to check. But peradventure, that is not done. In your own layman knowledge, for every canal, for every land you want to buy that is very close to the canal, please measure 15 meters from the edge of that canal.
Oh, okay. 15
meters from the edge of that canal. That is the worst case scenario.
Okay.
Anything after the 15 meters, then you can start negotiating. Knowing fully well that even after the 15 meters, there is still going to be an average minimum setback of 7 meters. So you're talking of 22 meters from the edge of the canal.
Exactly.
So that's something wise that you should do.
You should do
if you buy a land.
But even with that, when you needed to do your approval, you need to apply for your own documentation. You still need to apply for drainage clearance because you are building very close to the wetland.
All right. Okay. So I needed to also, who determines where a drainage will be? I mean, if you're going to start work on the land, who determines that?
Yes, ordinarily, because we belong to a system whereby we will will have built, construction will have started, will have been living within that locality, not until when we started having water issue before we start building drainages. Ideally, in any construction, all these facilities, utilities ought to have been on ground. When a road is being constructed, part of that road that will have acquire a right of way for that road. Part of that right of way will be used for drainage. Part of which will be used for walkway. Part of which will be used for street lights, if there is going to be any. Part of which will be used for in case there is need for us for cable to be laid. That is the purpose of right of way. That in case we need to come and improve on this road, there is development, we have more people, we need to increase the width of this road. Is a single lane, we need to turn it to a dual carriageway, we need to introduce a median. So that is the purpose of right of way, so that people will not build on the right of way. When government is coming, government will not start demolishing.
So can a surveyor give that advice?
It is the work of the surveyor, ab initio, to have carried out the survey. Then for a town plan to have designed the layout, but it is the survey, what the surveyor has done, they will use to design the layout. Right.
Surveyor Lukman, I thought you wanted to add to that as well.
Yes, it is very, very paramount for whoever that wants to buy a property, especially very close to the right of way of a channel. He has to do all the due diligence by getting every information that is very, very vital, especially drainage clearance and from drainage department, and it has to be done properly from drainage office.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
For clearance, especially.
All right. 08099120777. This one says, "Good morning, Mr. Victor and your guests, sir. If government already knows some places flood every year, why did they still allow people to build houses there?" You didn't put your name, but thank you so much. All right, so Surveyor Adams, did you get that question?
That question is somehow. See, I wouldn't say government allow people to build there. The Lagos is not too a problem in terms of flooding. We have other places that is outside Lagos, even outside Nigeria, that they experience flooding day in, day out, year in, year out. And there must have been warnings, there must have been public alignment. Most of these things is just because the channels are not being well serviced. That's not the thing. If they were serviced, they were being dredged at the right time they need to do, water will come, it will discharge into the lagoon, and it is fine, it's level.
So those are the reasons, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's begin to wind this down. So, Lukman, you wanted to add something to that?
Yes. For some times now, I notice, in Lagos we have so many water systems. We have system 1, system 2. There are many systems, drainage systems.
That's right.
Especially in Lagos Island, Lagos Mainland, Surulere, Agugi, Ikate, and so many places. In fact,
even more international.
Yes,
many system 1 here.
Many systems were killed by our people because of our attitude towards all these channels.
Right.
We dump refuge, we don't care, and when government spends so much money to dredge, our people still don't see it like it's a big thing. Channel is like a life. Drainage channel is like a life. So if it is being maintained, we are going to enjoy it all.
So how do we do that? I mean, the layman does not really understand all of this, right? All he knows is that there's a channel somewhere. So what should you do to ensure that those systems, those channels are properly maintained? Is that not the work of the government?
It's the work of the government, but in kind of this system that we belong to, government will not do everything for us. We ourselves need to do the right thing. People that stay very close to the channel, instead of them to pay PSP to carry out that debt,
they prefer to dump it
into the channel.
So what's the effect of that on the environment?
Wow.
The debt you are building, apart from the fact that you are constituting a nuisance to that environment, that debt, when rain comes or flood comes, it take that debt. I'm going to use it to block another place where water supposed to pass through. And before you know it, you now discover that the water that's supposed to go through is like when traffic radio first started, when Governor Babatunde Fashola came into the building to come and grant an interview about what is causing traffic.
All right.
They say, because the roads are not good, because there are potholes there. No. He said no. I could remember very well. I listened to that interview. He said one of the major causes of traffic in Lagos is street trading. When you are buying plantain chips on the right, this person is buying bottled water on the left. The other one is buying kokoro on the right. And he wants to collect whatever he buys before he pays, before he collects change. And there are impediments all along. Before you know it, traffic will start building.
All right.
And when it builds over time, you now discover that it get across everywhere.
Let's begin to round this off right now. Savio Lukman, what's your message now as we round off the program? And when we're talking about right of way and setbacks, what's your message to our people?
I want to encourage our people in Lagos State to keep Lagos clean. That's the first. We have to keep Lagos clean. We have to maintain a habit that is that makes the city clean.
All right.
We don't dump refuse anywhere. We should do the right thing when we are dumping our refuse. We know where to dump our refuse.
Right. And Savio Adams, what's a parting thought?
My parting thought is, number one, get the right professional to do your job for you, especially survey, get the register surveyor, and most importantly, please don't cut corners when you are building and you are encroaching into the right of way.
For those who want to get in touch with surveyors, where can they do that? Where are you guys located?
Our office is at Aspivy Road, opposite Lagos Revenue House, inside the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors building, Alausa here.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that for now. Thank you so much for being here, both of you. Gentlemen, thank you so much for making it through to the studios this morning.
Thank you very much, Mr. Victor. Thank you, Lagos.
Okay, then. So that's how far we'll go on the program this morning. And of course, what we have been able to do is to look at Lagos water channels, understanding the role of the right of way and setbacks in flood prevention. Savio Adams Olugbenga Benjamin has been our guest. He's the APPSN National Publicity Secretary, also the Vice Chairman of the Lagos State Branch. And in the studio this morning, I've also hosted Savio Atiku Lukman, who's member of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors. The program has been produced by Mike James. I say a big thank you to Remy Aluko and of course to our executive producer Tayo Akonle. My name is Victor Oteri. I'm out. Still very much within. Have a splendid weekend. Bye.